Hello, everyone. I'm always fascinated by music videos for acts that started before the medium existed. I've already covered rock performers like Tom Petty, Billy Joel, and the Beatles, who had to both create and adapt to the medium with unfortunately middling results. Well, tonight, get excited, we're going to get even more middling while Bob Dylan explores Japan. Not to add to the deluge of music critics over mythologizing Bob Dylan, but no one before or since has done it like old Robbie Z. I can't think of anyone who's ever let the music speak for itself more than he did, and that's only added to his image. As one of the most discussed, portrayed, and parodied artists of the last 60 years, he's never been afraid to strike his own image. But what happens when someone tries to craft an image for him? You get this muddled detective story where Bob is falsely accused of murder, and it only gets crazier from there.
Dylan is now 44. He's the father of 5 children, and he has embraced new forms of music, most recently music video.
Tight Connection to My Heart, Has Anybody Seen My Love, comes from Bob Dylan's 1985 album Empire Burlesque. Dylan originally wrote the song for his previous album Infidels as Someone's Got a Hold of My Heart, but decided to leave it off. He eventually revived the song, recording new vocals and producing the track himself.
What's that?
Infidels had been seen as a return to form for Dylan, after a series of poorly received religious albums and a general decline in interest in his career 2 decades after it had begun. So, now that his renewed career was gaining steam and needed a boost, he decided to create a music video.
They've also been making videos from the songs. Do you enjoy doing that?
Well, not really, but it's just something that is a new form that is necessary to sell the records. So I'm still recording, so I guess I'm going to have to do them.
The song's lyrics quote a number of classic noir films, including a bunch of Humphrey Bogart movies.
We want to talk to you, Spade.
Well, go ahead and talk.
I've got to move fast. I can't with you around my neck. I don't know whether I'm too good for you or you're too good for me.
Maybe that's why they decided to make the music video a murder mystery. Bob plays 2 parts in this video. One, the guitar player in a bar band, and the other, a man who gets arrested for a murder he didn't commit. The story of the murder is told via flashback. Apparently, Bob and his wife, girlfriend, unclear. Anyway, Bob and this woman are living together in Japan when she leaves him. I'm unsure of the timeline this video is trying to set up, but it's possibly trying to imply that Bob was cheating on her with this woman. Again, this video doesn't sort out its own story. Bob's partner is then murdered by 3 businessmen, and Bob is arrested for it. He's interrogated by the cops and doesn't seem at all interested in mounting his own defense.
What do you think of the Japanese authorities?
Very good. Yeah, treated me very well.
We also see the murder of a blue-haired punk, and their blue wig tumbling down a staircase provides the central image of the video.
I like my suitcase.
Please lay off the snap zooms, Bob. They're not the impressive stylistic flourish you think they are. Bob is then thrown in prison. You can tell that this is the American section of the prison because of all the patriotic bunting the cops hung up. This is all cut in with clips of Band Bob playing the song in the bar, which Murder Bob also attends. It's impressive that they got Mark Twain on harmonica. But then Bob's wife is fine? She's alive? And I guess she murdered the businessmen? And I guess that she's fine with him cheating on her now? What was any of this for? What a twist you got here, Bob. I'm mad. I hope I'm piecing this all together right. This is more mind-bendy and confusing than Memento. The video doesn't use its Japanese setting to its full effect, or really to any effect. There's no reason for it to be set in Japan. Hey Bob, what were you thinking for the video? I was thinking we could set it in Japan. Oh cool, are you like taking in the local sites or experiencing any of the culture? I'm playing in a bar band. Okay.
Would you take a particular approach to them as opposed to doing, say, concepts?
Well, I haven't been too successful at videos because I haven't paid too much attention to it, but I might have to start doing that now. I don't know.
The video was directed by Raging Bull and Taxi Driver screenwriter Paul Schrader.
Would you tell us about the story of Cat People?
Well, it's a very difficult story to relate because it's more in the nature of a myth, and if one is too literal about it, it sounds quite silly. So I'd rather not give a synopsis of it.
Geez, I wonder why he and Bob Dylan got along.
And introducing in his first dramatic motion picture performance, Plums, recording star Bob Dylan.
I went into this episode having no real idea how Bob Dylan adapted to music videos. I had seen him on film, and I had seen all the videos from the Traveling Wilburys, so I knew he could carry himself okay enough on screen, but all those were within a context. Either he's performing live, playing a fictional character, or in a group, so he doesn't draw full focus the way somebody making a music video usually does. I think there's two major issues with this video. The first is the narrative that Schrader tries to put into it. You can't put a narrative into a Bob Dylan song, or at least more of one than is already there. Dylan is known for his fantastical and often nonsensical lyrics, and trying to pin them down to a story is never going to work. That's why Schrader had to make it non-linear, because that's the only way you could even start to present it as one interconnected work. There have been a lot of non-linear films, especially after Pulp Fiction came out, so it's not an impossible concept for me to wrap my head around, but at least there, I have the benefit of full scenes and dialogue to understand what's happening. I had to patchwork my plot summary together earlier, because that's the only way I can make sense of anything. I've never seen a 4-minute music video with so many plot lines. Boy, was that a mistake. I said to Bob while we were doing it, Bob, if you ever hear I'm doing another music video, take me out in the backyard and hose me down. I didn't understand music videos. I'm much too linear. I just didn't understand the free randomness of the imagery, particularly with Dylan, who's very random in his imagery as well. The second problem is having the actors lip sync some of, but not all of the lyrics. Having some of the words be diegetic dialogue and others not just confuses what you're trying to say even more than you already were. I'm already reeling to piece together a story here, and now I gotta figure out where all these lines fit into it. Give me a break, Bob.
Not great, Bob.
Luckily, these writers took the hard path. They are the nominees for Original Screenplay.
First Reformed, written by Paul Schrader.
Paul Schrader directed movies before this, including 1982's Cat People, but he's mostly known as a screenwriter, writing Taxi Driver and The Last Temptation of Christ, among many others. Maybe that's why this video is so overwritten. A big part of the reason why the video is set in Japan is that Schrader was already in the country directing Mishima, A Life in 4 Chapters, when he accepted the gig from Dylan, and he wanted to use the same cast and crew.
Paul's very intelligent, and through Len especially, he understood Japan, and he understood that the way to make a film in Japan is to make it the Japanese way. We only brought like 6 or 7 Americans there, and we made the film with all Japanese.
It seems like a big ask of your coworkers, who are already behind schedule and over budget, making a movie in a foreign country, to also film a music video in the middle of it. But hey, I guess when it's Bob Dylan, who's gonna say no?
The 1980s proved to be the decade when Dylan evolved into rock and roll's journeyman. Album after album was lightly regarded by fans and critics alike. Dylan struggled with new trends in music production that were ill-suited to his spontaneous style.
The song made it to number 103 on the Billboard Bubbling Under 100 chart, and the album made it to number 33. Considering that Infidels had made it to number 20, it wasn't quite the follow-up that he had hoped for. I mean, my God, that's tied with Shot of Love. I've never even heard anybody say they like that album.
Well, my personal favorite was the Shot of Love record, but it didn't seem to sell too much. I'm probably the only person that feels that way, you know. One of the few.
Darn it. Do these changes bother you? I mean, do you wish they hadn't happened, or?
No, not really, because I'm really just make records, and I'm a live performer, so you know things change, and I'll just do whatever it is I do, and there'll be an audience for that, the same as an audience for the new technical type things. I'm not sure if it's the same audience or not.
I guess Bob's opinions must have changed over the years, because
It's all got the soul of a robot, said Dylan of the decade's music videos and overproduced pop music. Your mind thinks it's true, but your heart knows it's wrong.
I don't even think that this is the worst video I've covered on the show. It's just so bad for what it could have been and the talent that was involved. You're telling me that a renowned writer-director and an Oscar-winning Nobel laureate couldn't cobble together a simple music video? The other two music videos for the album, Emotionally Yours and When the Night Comes Falling from the Sky, were created with the help of Bob's friend and fellow musician Dave Stewart. They're straight performance videos, which is probably the best way to capture Dylan. Just set a camera on him and let him go.
In the video of Tight Connection to My Heart, you looked quite uncomfortable at times.
All the time.
All the time. Did you hate and regret doing it?
Yeah.
Why did you subject yourself to it?
I thought that I might be able to make a video with a man who made movies and pull it off, but I was wrong, you know, what can I say?
Well, how did that experience teach you about making videos? Did it change your mind?
Not about making videos, but about who to work with.
And you found the right people now?
Well, for the videos that I'm doing, they're more of a simple kind of way. It's just, you know, me doing whatever it is I'm doing rather than those story type of videos. You know?
You're most comfortable performing?
Yeah.
Do you find that they're a necessary evil, though? Do you find videos are a necessary evil these days?
Well, not any more than anything else. Like anything.
Videos are out of character for me too. The latest ones I've done with Dave Stewart are alright. The other ones, I don't know. I was just ordered around. I didn't pay much attention to those videos. You have to make them if you make records. You just have to. But you have to play live. You can't hide behind videos. I think once this video thing peaks out, people will get back to see who performs live and who don't. Thanks for watching, everyone. I always appreciate people liking and sharing my videos. And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. If you know a terrible music video you'd love to see me cover, drop it in the comments. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. You know, I'm really surprised I got through this whole episode without doing a terrible Bob Dylan impression. Hey,